Hey guys, welcome to Red Line Talk Show. I'm here today with Liliana and our special guest. Her name is Adda Novak, who is a real estate broker. We're going to talk about your background. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Adda.
Thank you for having me.
So, Adda, let's get right into it. So, I want to first start with your background a little bit. You were born here or you were born in Albania?
No, I was born in Albania.
Okay.
Thank God.
What part?
Tirana.
Tirana. Okay.
I love Tirana.
Yeah.
How old were you when you came here?
I was young. Preteens, I should say.
Okay.
Yeah.
You came here to study school. Walk me through your background.
Actually, it was so. My mom actually applied for the lottery.
Okay.
And we got it, unbeknownst to me. Next thing I know is we're.
What year are we talking about?
Oh gosh, don't ask.
Okay.
So I pack up and leave school, leave everything. I don't have time to say goodbye to all of my friends or anyone. And we're coming here. That's what I know, you know.
So you came here a long time ago?
Yes. I came here when I was, I think, in 6th or 7th grade, something like that.
Okay.
And then obviously high school and then college. And then while I was in college, I actually worked with my dad.
Okay.
I think this is how hospitality started for me, believe it or not. My dad, he's like, hey, why don't you start working with me?
Tell us your experience working with your father and what was your role?
First of all, it's great. I started out as a hostess, answering the call, the phones, making reservations, bringing guests into the restaurant, seating the guests, and I found joy in that. I guess I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
And I guess hospitality kind of runs in our blood too, So it came easy for me. And I mean, money was amazing. Back, in college, getting paid $25 an hour was, forget about it, so.
Especially back then. That was like...
I mean, I've worked since I was 14 years old, but I never made that much. That was like the max for that age.
You worked for your father's restaurant or?
No, we worked for Michael Jordan's Steakhouse, actually.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. So I started fine dining right off the bat. So I got a good taste of that and good discipline, good work ethics. I think this is how I started.
So you started your career in hospitality.
Yeah, through
right?
that.
Tell us a little bit about that experience because I think that's very important. And you mentioned that before. I feel like hospitality, I worked in hospitality as well when I was in college and in high school. I think that makes you a much more people person, the way you communicate with people.
I think you have to have a certain personality to actually fit well in hospitality industry. You have to be a people's person. You cannot be an introvert, being
yes
uncomfortable.
And no.
Yeah?
Yes and no.
Okay,
because,
do tell.
I was very shy when I started.
Were you?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
So I started as a busboy.
Okay, not much talking to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because again, I was very shy and I was very timid. And then I became a waiter, which to become a waiter, then you have to talk and be friendly.
Sure. So how was that?
That comes with experience and years of, working in the same, you feel comfortable with the people, you're not afraid to speak to them.
Yeah.
That builds, confidence,
Okay.
And then from a waiter, I went to a manager, then a cook, and then I've done a little bit of everything.
Oh, good. So how did you find it challenging and exhausting talking to people? Because my husband's an introvert. He finds it challenging.
So
like
I have a problem.
him.
Yes, I have a problem with being fake. You know how you have to carry on conversations of people random
It's not really
stuff.
being fake. You're doing small talk. I love small talk.
She's the opposite. so me and her.
I mean, we were going at it before we even started.
I don't know. To me, it comes very natural, and I enjoy it. So it's not fake. I enjoy.
I think this actually makes sense. I see why now. The extrovert and the introvert, same as my husband. I'm the extrovert. He's the introvert.
You know how crazy it is, and we actually talk about this all the time with her. I'm like, she can be in anywhere. Doesn't matter. Elevator, bathroom. Doesn't matter.
No, you start a conversation.
She will have a blown conversation
I find
about
such
and keep going.
Detail.
To me, I'm like, okay, 2 sentences max. Okay, nice meeting you. Bye. she'll be there for 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, what are you still talking about?
And then we talked about 5 different topics. Adda, that's why me and you hit it off from the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So we kept going.
Going back to the hospitality, I think that helped me, right? To come out of my shell a little bit, to be comfortable.
That is so interesting. I've never heard it from that angle before.
Yeah.
I guess that's the angle of an introvert. Us extroverts is so natural.
Right.
Yeah.
I suggest everyone at some point in time to work in hospitality. You'll actually, give them a lot of...
if you need to improve on certain skills,
communication, how to psychology too. You understand when someone's pissed off, when someone's happy, when someone's sad.
100%.
That's your job to make them feel better, right? So psychology, plays a role into it as well. But getting back to your experience, so you started in this hospitality, right? Yeah. How many years did you do that for?
Oh my gosh, I didn't stop since it was until 2017. I should say, from college to 2017, with the same company, actually. They gave me the opportunity to grow, which was great. And because they saw how passionate I was. And I managed so many of their venues until, I switched companies. And then I worked for New York Yankees Steakhouse, which was the last hospitality job for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you decided to switch and transition to real estate.
I think it was fate. Because as I mentioned before, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And I just, I was a workaholic. And I didn't have any sick days. I didn't take any vacations. So I don't know what in me possessed to actually take advantage of that. And I told my husband, I said, I'm going to do this. So I took all of my sick days, vacation days, you name it, and decided to collect a few licenses. And one of those was the real estate license.
Okay.
Yes. And then I thought it would be just like a driver's license where you can just put in your pocket, it's there, and it expires when it expires. Little did I know that you actually have to take CE courses, just like lawyers that take CLE, continued law education. Yes, you take continued education for real estate salespersons as well. So I'm like, oh, I got to take classes to keep my license. So I thought to myself, like, well, what am I going to do with this? Is this a sign or something? So I thought, either do it or don't do it at all. In my nature, I either go into something 100% or I don't do it at all. So I decided to go with real estate, and it's been real estate ever since.
Do you feel that with the experience of working in this Michelin-starred restaurants previously, that gave you experience that helped you in your journey?
Absolutely.
Transitioning
yes,
to real
of course. I mean, all those years that I work in hospitality, I connected with people. I made, thank God, connected with people and had good friendships with a lot of my staff to this day, a lot of my colleagues as well. We still keep in touch, and they know that I switched careers. A lot of, believe it or not, guests that would come to the restaurant, clients, customers that would come to the restaurant know that I switched fields, so to speak, and they've kept in touch and used me for their services. Exactly, because they've
helped
known
you build a really
me.
strong network of clientele.
Not only that, but they have to know who you are, right? You have to, especially in to be a good salesperson in my field, and obviously my opinion, people are gonna like dissect everything I say right now.
Okay.
But like, this is just my experience. I'm not here to tell anybody how anybody's going to be, but how it's going to be for anyone. But for me, that's how it was. Everyone that I've connected with somehow, some way, have become friends, have become clients, have become, in a way, more than just a transaction. So, yeah.
I agree. So I did real estate as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have the same path. So I did real estate for a little bit.
Okay.
A very tough industry to get into.
Competitive, yes.
Very competitive. It's not always guaranteed, right?
True.
In the beginning.
Yes.
Which I had a hard time with that because, obviously to live in New York City, you need to pay bills.
Mhm.
And starting off real estate, you might not get your deal, their first deal, God knows how many months, right? And
Mhm.
you constantly have to go out there and
You have to have a steady income.
Can't give
Like
up.
if you're
yeah,
right,
it was
so-
tough. It was very tough. I did a few deals, and then I just like, this is not for me. I gave it up.
Yeah.
But I know the struggle when it comes to real estate. We're gonna get into real estate.
I want to talk a little bit more about the transition. A lot of people, may be listening and wondering if they should switch into another avenue in their career. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that shift and how did you make it? Was it seamless transition or was there some growing
something
pains?
that you said about the fact that you don't know when that deal is going to close, right? So you
Yeah.
need either you're comfortable with a steady paycheck or you are comfortable with receiving that check when it comes. You have to make that decision for yourself, I think, how comfortable you are with your financial situation. Because if you can wait, right, then do it. I would recommend, this is my recommendation, if anybody start to have a part-time job so they have that steady income and then maybe pursue their real estate career while they have that income. So they're not, maybe panicking about their financials.
I get it, but
Yeah.
you got to realize that in real estate, you have to be available to your client's time and schedule, right? To show them,
So
whatever they're looking
right.
for.
So you have to choose at that point what your schedule is going to be, whether you're going to be flexible with
Yeah.
their schedule, but you can actually work it out to where because you're setting up appointments for your clients, right? But you also have to take under consideration that it's also another party, another agent involved. So
Yeah.
now you have to accommodate the schedule of that other agent while you're accommodating your own client and your
yourself.
own schedule. So you have to have really good organizational skills to pull it off. But I think that it is possible to do. Yeah. Because you can say that I work during this time and people understand because not everybody is in real estate full time. And,
Yeah.
you do have your clients that work, let's say, a 9 to 5, so they're available in the evening and or weekends. So you can work it out that way.
So now you moved into real estate. You open up your own real estate company,
Oh, yes, that was right off the bat.
which
I
is
just
very
knew
impressive.
Yeah, I got my license. I started
Your broker license.
my real estate salesperson's license
Right.
in 2017. And, having your license and being an independent contractor, so to speak, it allows you to open your own business.
Okay.
Okay. And because you can now, being an independent contractor, you can use that as an outlet to write off your expenses instead of in a personal way. You can do it through your LLC, right? And so I did that right off the bat, and I used it for that purpose only until I eventually got my broker's license. And then I, went big.
So that's pretty. So you are a broker for both New York and New Jersey, or just New
I
Jersey?
am a broker for New York and
Okay.
a salesperson for New
New
Jersey,
because New Jersey
right
does
now.
not have.
But the goal is to, yes.
So
Oh, because you
get
need a broker for New Jersey as well.
Well, it would be good to have it. I mean, that's my goal.
Right.
So I can
Okay.
venture out in New Jersey as well.
Okay.
you describe your work ethic as all or nothing. How has that mindset influenced your rise in the real estate industry?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I've always had this feeling in me where if I'm going to help someone, it could be coming from hospitality, actually, where I was helping clients or customers with their wedding or bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, engagements, next chapter of their life, right? So this is almost the same thing. I'm helping people for the next chapter of their life.
On their own first home.
On their first home, on their first business, on their next purchase, on their first sale, on, so I've always thought what if you did it just like you would for yourself, right? And I've always had this mindset where it's always going to be as if I'm going to do it for myself, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it is very important. You're putting so much money into this investment in this property or whatever it is, right? It's a business. You're going to invest in your business. Your blood and tears are going into that, and same as a home, same for a home, whether it's even for an investment, you're doing it because this is what you want to do for your family, for your life. So I think that doing that in an ethic way without having ulterior motives, my commission, right, at the end, because a lot of agents worry about their commission when it's going to come because it does pay your bills at the end of the day too, right? But I think that is going to come eventually. But your clients need to see that your intentions are not in the forefront. Your intentions should be for your clients to get what they want in the best possible way. And that to me means that they're going to gain my trust and they're going to use me again for their future investments or purchases or sales, you name it, for real estate needs. And they could tell their relatives too and, family. But you see how in the long run, I think that makes more sense than having my motives in the forefront because I think that's more important.
So let's talk about that industry itself a little bit, right? Because real estate is very interesting. I think it's probably a lot of people can, familiarize themselves with real estate because it's something that it's a must, right? Especially in New York City, real estate market has been, I would say, very consistent. But what are some of the trends that you're seeing now in the last few years with real estate? Because you do hear a lot of noise. The prices have gotten really high. How much higher can they go? Right? Is there a ceiling at some point, or is it going to start dropping down? What's your opinion?
So I'd like to start saying this: that in New York, my experience and from what I've seen in the past is that property value never decreases, right? You have homes that, let's say, hypothetically speaking, right, were 30 years ago, $250,000. You don't see a 4-bedroom home, $250,000 anymore,
No.
right? So if you're seeing the trend season by season, maybe you'll see little differences where prices may be going up a little bit, going down a little bit. But as the years go by, you will always notice that the prices are going up, especially in New York, right? I can speak for New York. In New Jersey, it's a little bit different because, it's you have places that are closer to the city that may be in high demand for New Yorkers that are further down, very suburban, where in New York, it's very, you can find suburban, but it's not fields and fields where you have like a horse ranch next to your house, things like that you'll find in New Jersey. But in New York, that's what I see. Politics play a role, seasons, weather play a role, things like that. Mortgage rates play a role as well. So these little things change from time to time.
But where do you see the market, like say, in the next 5 years? Do you see it increasing more than what it's...
The market increasing in what way? Like
the pricing.
The pricing. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah.
Really? How much more higher can they go?
Okay, so we had COVID, right?
Yeah.
And people were afraid to go out, buy homes, but then the rates lowered to max low. I would think they weren't that low since 60 years prior to that. So people started jumping and created that demand for homes where now the prices of homes started increasing because the rates were dropped, and that indicated in the market. But then people were not cold calling because it was prohibited. We were banned from cold calling. We were banned from door knocking because we didn't they didn't want to spread COVID. So to keep COVID in check, these were the orders. During COVID, a lot of buyers were jumping to buy. The rates were low, and that created a surge, I would say, in prices now increasing little by little, right? And then now, because we haven't done any cold calling, there are not so many homes on the market. And when the demand is high, the prices go up.
Yeah.
And so that increased the prices. Now, a lot of people are like, well, this is a little too high for me now. So then the market starts changing again, because then the rates start increasing again, right? And then, although we were deemed essential during COVID, because obviously we have to find homes for people, we don't want them out, in shelters or streets. So just like doctors and nurses, we're deemed essential for the community, which was good because we could work a little bit, but at a limited capacity.
I didn't know that you guys were essential workers.
We're essential.
During that time. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you always need a roof over your head, right?
Of course. So you launched the Bakova Real Estate, which was a major milestone for you.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about, I guess, were you afraid of taking this step initially? How did you find yourself like, is this the right move for me at this time?
No, not at all. For me, I felt like a sense of pride, actually, that I did something for myself, by myself. I felt like I can do this.
Okay.
Because I had people behind me, in a sense that I had clients that relied on me, that trusted me. And just like you said, when you start work, the more you practice, the more you know, the more confident you become. And that was that in a sense for me as well in real estate. I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was a calling in a way without realizing. Yeah.
What I love is that the viewers don't know this, but I would love for you to share. You take a portion of your proceeds and you donate it to various organizations. You don't see that much. There are some people in our community that have it very consistent, that, with their profits, they give back to the community. Tell us a little bit, how did you get started with that?
Yeah. So in 2017, when I opened my company, I felt like, I don't know, something in me, because I've always had it, I guess, in me since it's high school. I didn't say this before, but I would go for March of Dimes, do walks, raise money for March of Dimes, go to soup kitchens. I've always had, that thing to help people. Mm-hmm. And I thought, if God has brought me the opportunity to do something for myself, I'm going to pay it forward. And if I can do something in the smallest possible way, as much as I can for the time given, because it was a new business. But I felt like I make little, I'm going to give a little too, because the more you give, I think the more you get. I think it just karma in a way.
Yes.
So with the first deal, I donated to, I think it was one of the mosques near my neighborhood. It started there, and I was like, oh, this is good, and it's been various individuals, various organizations ever since. It's just a promise to myself, I think, to do that, just something, self-satisfaction. To do that, I feel like it completes me. Recently was unfortunately, a few Kazan families. Actually, the way that I vet them is through Miss Rachel, believe it or not. So on her posts, she will say, oh, this child or this family needs help. So I find them that way. Families in Albania as well. If I hear my mom says, this person needs some help, maybe if you can help them, or if I hear from a friend, I've given to a House of Pop, to the original. I think I've sponsored original as well.
Nice.
So yeah, I don't keep track of it, honestly.
It's
just
fine.
Whoever I can think of right now.
there's a lot of need, a lot of organizations that they do need some help,
Yeah.
and when it comes to donations, which I commend you for that. More people should do that.
I mean, in any way that we can do it, however little possible, it's good to do for anybody that can.
Um, so with the real estate company, do you do only sales, or what type of real estate do you cover usually?
I do both residential and commercial real
Okay.
estate as well, developments as well.
So you do developments as well, which is another
Yes, for
whole different
myself
business.
and
Yeah.
clients as well
Okay.
too. Yeah. Mhm.
How's that business?
It was challenging at first
Okay.
because you would have to now look for yourself, and you have a little bit of practice as well because you're doing it for your clients,
Yeah.
and especially for my developer clients who they see things a little different.
Mhm.
They go into more detail where they have contractors
So you
coming
kind
in,
of pick their
architects
brain and
coming
how
in.
they
Exactly.
how they do things. Yeah.
Exactly. So I kind of learned from that. I think we Albanians as a people are very gifted people.
We
And
definitely
ta
are.
vjedim zanatin. So I started learning and I gave it a shot for myself as well, and it went really well. And I actually started this company 1 year after I started Bakuva Real Estate. So
What's this company called?
Bakuva Estates and Developments.
Okay, which is a separate company. It deals
Yeah.
with only developments.
Developments. Yeah.
I like developments too. It's something that I like to do. I think every Albanian likes developments.
It's in our blood.
Yeah.
We like to grow.
We're good. We're so gifted. We are so gifted.
We really
Give
are.
us some maybe tips or things that you should look at when you looking at a property or land or anything. Like, what do you think of like the first thing you've?
Well, I would like to say growth potential,
Okay.
value, right? What you intend to do with it and how to maximize the profits for any property that you invest, whether it be vacant land or a rundown house where it needs a gut job, where you need to renovate from everything, maybe demolition, where you need to just demo everything and then start from scratch. And you have to obviously speak with professionals, architects and engineer and structural engineers and environmental engineers to see if you can build something, how high you can go, how low you can go, what you can do. Based on these professionals, now you jot your numbers down and see if it makes sense financially to turn it into whatever it is that you want to.
Okay,
turn
I'm going to
into.
ask you more of a personal opinion.
Okay.
For you,
Yeah.
what do you like best in development? Do you like land, just a piece of land with nothing on it? Do you like an old house where you can knock it down and build it up, like you said? Or you like something that's in between and then you can do like a minor renovation to... So what kind of properties do you like to work with or to develop?
I personally find it easier if it's a gut job because that it has the foundation.
Okay.
And it has the beams where I don't have to spend that extra money.
So you like existing structures?
Existing structures make it easier to renovate and then flip and then sell it again.
So you like to flip? That's your model?
Like to flip, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe in the future actually have land and develop something commercial.
Okay.
But yeah.
Very nice.
That's my preference.
Adda, you went from working in the hospitality industry, you transitioned into being an entrepreneur, opening up your own two businesses. And meanwhile, throughout this whole time, you were a mom. And recently you became a mom again. Can you just talk to us about how did you do it all? How were you able to be a career woman and a family woman at the same time?
I think that having goals for yourself is very important. Life can throw things at you, but I think that just seeing the big picture and I think having a drive, a need to get somewhere for yourself, I think, and for your child as well. You want to be a good example for your own child because they do follow into your footsteps the way that I followed my parents' footsteps. They were very business minded, investors as well. Believe it or not, they purchased their other properties other than the home where they lived. So I think I just grabbed it from them in that way, and I felt that if my parents could do it with kids too, I can also do it as
Right.
well. So I think they were a great example of that. I did have a support system because I was 24 when I had my first, and as a young mom, you're invested in your child because you want to give them the best that you could possibly give them. Best education, best a lot of attention, the nurturing, and all of that, while you're also working to get income as well. So you got to just keep going. If life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, so they
Right.
say. Although lemons are engineered food. We actually created lemons. Do you know that? Lemons.
did not know that.
I
Yes.
know that.
Mhm.
Okay.
We gave ourselves lemons. Look it up.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So, but then being a mom again now for the second time with a newborn, it's very different because now you're older, you're more set in your ways, you are more independent as well because there's a huge gap. My oldest is 17 now, and my youngest is a little over 1.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. She's a handful already, but I make them strong and independent. So I'm not surprised. Anyways, so it's been tough, I would say, this time around, because I did have a very risky pregnancy to start off from the beginning. I mean, just getting pregnant was very difficult, and we wanted to. So after 2 missed pregnancies, we finally was like, okay, it's either adopt or you try one more time. Third time's a charm. And it worked. It was risky though. I was bedridden the entire time, so obviously I had to take a break from real estate. I didn't announce it because we didn't know how it was going to work out, whether it's going to happen, not happen. We didn't get our hopes up because we would be heartbroken, like I
Right.
was, and it took me a very long time to recover from that, which is something that we don't speak about as a community. But anywho, but having her, it's really a blessing. I had to. So towards the end of the pregnancy, I was also given some bad news. Just when you're thinking everything is going well, I developed what's called a cholestasis, where because she's a very
Yeah.
active child, she was pushing, I think, on the liver, and now the liver's not filtering the blood well, and so now
Right.
the bile acids was going into the bloodstream, and they were telling me if we don't go into labor now, you're going to have stillbirth, her heart's going to stop. And of course, that's not what you want to hear as a parent, and I'm freaking out.
Were your palms itchy and your body
Yes,
itchy? So
yes.
this is important for our viewers out there that may be in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Don't disregard itchy palms. Talk to your doctor right away.
I really got lucky.
PSA.
Yeah.
I really got lucky because my itchiness started at the doctor's office. I was sitting for 45 minutes just waiting because, they're busy with other
Why
patients
you
as
gotta do
well.
it right away? You saying if that happens?
So you have to do blood work, which is another story because, being a life-threatening situation, to test for cholestasis takes about 1 week to get results. And a lot of things can happen within a week.
Yeah.
So here I am calling the hospital where they send the lab work. And then the hospital tells me, oh, we don't do it here. We send it to a third party. So now I'm calling a third party. I'm like, and I'm furious at this point with,
And the stress doesn't help the whole situation.
it does not help. And I'm like, a lot of things can happen between now and a week. So, but luckily, because I was towards the end, I got medicated. I took the medication, which helped lower the levels. But you don't want to hear at any time, at any point. But during the last few weeks of the pregnancy, that her heart could stop. Obviously a girl. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
But going back to real estate, you have to think for yourself what's good for you. I had to take a break, but because obviously it was a life and death situation, if I may say so. So priorities, work can always happen later. Family's first, health is first. So don't ignore your signs, as you said. But later on, when I did give birth, exhausted. It was just me and my husband because we're out in New Jersey. Family's still in Brooklyn, New York. And so we were just exhausted zombies, just taking care of our little one by ourselves this time around. Not much family support. So,
because the first one you had your family.
I had my
around, you had
family,
your
so I
full
didn't
support.
feel it as much,
Yeah.
And but this time it was just so different. And but because I did keep it on the down low, not many knew that I was pregnant.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably thought I adopted because they haven't even seen me pregnant. Which we did have the conversation of adoption, later on if it was in the stars, so we were open to that. But people did ask me, like, "Hey, what's going on?"
You're like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
this is mine."
But going back to real estate, a lot of my clients didn't know. A lot of my friends didn't know that I had given birth or that I was pregnant at all. So they're like, "Hey, I need help with this property. I need help with this property. Can you
Don't
help
tell
me
me
with
you're
this?"
laying in bed and you're making all the phone calls.
Yes, I was. Because I had time to do it, especially if it's something that you can do over the phone.
Right.
And sometimes, people are very understanding that sometimes you cannot be at a showing, because life happens. So I could send them to the property and they would see it. Obviously, I do my due diligence, I will inquire just as I did before, and I would obviously advise my clients, whether I was there or not, about the same way or same things that I would as if I was there. Because again,
so this is when she said that she's a workaholic. Yes, she continued even during her days where she should be resting.
Yeah, the workaholic in me.
Let's talk about the industry because it's very competitive, like you said,
yes.
and you have to constantly, be out there, be in the know, get information, find people. A lot of things change after COVID and how you do business, right?
Yeah.
Overall. And has this impacted the real estate industry from your perspective? Is it more difficult now to get clients than before, or is it easier?
Actually, I had the best year during COVID, believe it or not, because of the boom in buying homes because of the rate. It was just so low.
Okay.
But is it different now? It's different all the time. Every transaction is different. You have to be innovative. You have to be creative. You have to be on your toes. You have to know how to negotiate. You have to know what strings to pull and where to push without breaking the deal. You're dealing with so many personalities, so many people, so many egos,
Yeah.
When people are selling a home, they're invested in it because they've lived in there so many years. And when they're selling, they're parting with it. So you have to be very sensitive to that. You have to be aware of what they're going through. And when someone's buying, they're also very invested in a property. So they're very emotional about some things.
Yeah.
So you have to either... You have to
become a therapist at some point.
And you have to advise people the right way. Sometimes you have to bring them down to earth. Hey, this is reality.
Yeah.
Be very realistic about what your goals are. But what has helped me through the years to make things easy, no matter how real estate market is, I believe in collaboration. It's very competitive, and yes, it's you can be competitive, but I think that you get further with collaboration, knowing the agents, creating a relationship with the agents as well, because you're not going to deal with them just once. You may deal with them again a few times in the future. and they know how you work. They know your ethics. You know your intentions. They know how educated you are about the whole process, and because they've had a great maybe relationship with you in business, that it's been an easy transaction. They're like, okay, I can work with Adda again.
Yeah.
Or they will tell me things sometimes that they shouldn't be saying to me because they know me. They will disclose certain things that perhaps would make my job easier. Instead of like going through the miles, they will just tell me, Adda, this is what's going on here, because that we have that relationship. And I think that I can serve my clients better in that way. So I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration, having these great relationships with.
Do you think that maybe social media now changed the game a little bit when it comes to this industry? Because I know when I did it back in the day, it was all about cold calling.
Yeah.
Calling people on the phone and trying to get leads and things like that. Has that changed at all in the past, I would say, a couple of years with social media being so?
It has made it easier.
Okay.
To let people know what you do and how you do business. Will they reach out to you to help them with a transaction? Maybe. But first, they have to know you as a person, what you can do. A lot of my business is referrals, but I do post in social, not as much as I should, honestly, because I'm just so busy with everything else that now I have to manage a third party to manage my social media. Right. Or even if I do it myself now, I have to, it's a job in itself, I think.
Yes, it is. Of course.
So to do that, plus everything else, has it changed things? Yes, you have to manage it in a way where it does serve you, but it could be a good tool for agents to use for sure.
Adda, based on your journey, what advice would you give someone who wants to break through into the real estate industry or even start their own business?
What I would say is to start real estate overall, I mentioned that you do need a steady income. If you're financially ready to do it, then go ahead, start real estate. If you're not ready to start, to just get your feet wet, have a part-time job to help you with your financial situation, so you're not cut off, because you don't know when that
first break will be.
Yeah, you don't know where it's going to go. Studies show that the first couple of years, like 40 to 60% of agents drop out because they can't do it. So if you've lasted more than 2 years, I think you're in it for the long run. So How long were you doing it for?
I did it more than 2 years, but I think I did it for a couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so when I heard that statistic,
it has to be like a passion for you too.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was your passion.
No. I mean, I like it, but it wasn't to the point like
right. You have to, you have to feel it. And for me, it was 100%. So, but that's what I would recommend. As far as investing, I would say get your ducks in a row. Have your, it's all financials, right? You can either invest or you cannot invest, because you don't want to invest and then lose that investment. So I think just having a support system or a team to actually guide you through it's very important.
So Adda, you have Albanian clients, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. How is it dealing with the Albanian clients overall?
Oh, God.
That's a long pause. It's not a good sign.
Wait a minute, but even the way you asked the question, you were laughing, so you already know the answer.
No, I don't know the answer. Maybe,
Okay. I have Albanian clients, and working with Albanians is amazing. We just have a different way of communicating, I think. Only because
that's important.
That's very accurate.
We have not a different way. We have a tough way of communicating.
I am not saying that you are.
Okay.
And so you have to sometimes read between the lines because we cannot always be direct about what we
That
want,
is
what we
true.
don't want.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of my Albanian clients, sometimes they have a hard time saying, no, I don't like this property because they don't want to maybe hurt my feelings or maybe feel like they're wasting my time in a way. So they just say, oh, maybe we'll revisit this or something
Or
to
they
that
want,
nature.
or they don't want to show over excitement, so they're holding their cards and be like,
No. No. I wish that was the case, but because I do advise them that.
No, they
that
downplay
actually,
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
They do downplay.
No, if they don't like the property, sometimes they will just not
No,
say,
I'm
I
talking if
don't
they
like
do
the
like
property.
it. If they
they
like
do
it.
like the property, I do advise that they do that because we don't want to show them excitement,
Right.
actually, because that would, part of negotiating. But like, yes, it's a different talking with Albanian clients or working with Albanian clients rather, because I find that with non-Albanians, we can get to the point, I think, a little faster because they
Okay.
can just say, no, I don't like it. Let's pass to the next property. And I do have Albanian clients that will communicate in that way, and I appreciated that very much. So I don't have to read between the lines or like, oh, çfarë tha, ç'sta, si e kishte ku e kishte. Sometimes you don't have to analyze the conversation, but sometimes you do.
And since you're Albanian, you understand the culture and how they speak. It actually works because you're
I do understand the culture and how they speak, but
it's still harder for you.
It's a little bit, yeah. With non-Albanians, sometimes, especially some of my clients that I've met through hospitality that are maybe somewhat a little famous. I can't say name because I've signed NDAs, but they don't have time to waste, so they will just say straight out,
point,
no, let's move on to the next property,
Right.
or hey, what do you think about this? And you have to just give it down to them like A, B, and C, or like 1, 2, 3. This is what I think, and that's that. So
that's my style. I either say yes, I like it, no, I don't, or just get to the point.
Yes. So you are my client, my future client. Okay, good to know.
So Adda, looking ahead, what's the next chapter for Adda, Novak, and Bakova Real Estate?
I think, well, obviously continue what I'm doing. Just grow my investment portfolio. Eventually venture out to New Jersey and have my own company venture out in New Jersey as well until I get my broker's license there as well. And continue obviously to give my girls all the love and nurturing that they need right now. My oldest is ready to go to college, so that's another phase we have to deal with.
So many transitions.
So many transitions, and life happens. So just continue growing. I think that's the goal.
Well, I thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Show.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.